Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Get Dirty Garage. Today, I think since we've got all the modifications we kind of wanted to do done, it's really time to dig in and see if we can get this body off the frame and make the frame what it's supposed to be. So we got way too much to do, so let's go ahead and let's get dirty. Is this thing on? Yeah. All right, well, to get this ready, kind of get things separated here and start working on the prettiness of the whole beast. Basically, got to strip the Elco down to its skivvies. So everything that we've put on and done and did and will do has got to come off. Yeah, probably going to go back together and come apart 2 or 3 more times, but that's okay. I guess we'll just start digging in, start getting things stripped down, and we'll figure it out from there. So let's dig in. Okay, now that we've got the Elco stripped naked, it is time to fuss with some body mounts. So there's 10 body mounts on an El Camino. One right here in the by the cowl. There's one. Hey, there's a Garage Panther. Say hi. And there's one right underneath that floor. One in front of the rear wheels, and behind the rear wheels, and then around the back there are a couple right in there. So it's really two options for taking those out. Got a 5/8 socket, and cross your fingers and hopefully they come out without the cage nuts spinning, or we got the Destructo option, so that's probably what's going to happen for most of these. So, anyways, we'll try option 1 first, and then we'll see if we got to go to option 2 and see if we can't get this thing loose, and then figure out a way to get that part away from that part. So we'll go from there. All right. Well, I'm going to try option 1 first, obviously. I have very little hope that these are going to come out, unfortunately, so, but we'll see. Okay, cross your fingers. And nope. Okay. Lucky number 2. And no. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let me try these up here. Oh, hey, just hit the lottery. All right, look at that. Got a bolt up. All right. Lightning strikes twice. Number 2. All right. Well, we got 2 out of 4 so far, so we're betting 500. That's pretty good, you know. If we were in baseball, I think we'd make $1 bazillion a year on that. So let's get after these 2 back here while we're here. Whole bunch of number 2. Okay. All right. So that makes 4. 6 more. Oh boy. Okay, now time. Try our luck. Let's see. Right about there, I guess. Can't see a thing. This is coordinated. I don't believe it, but it's out. That one doesn't even have a bolt in it. Okay. So we'll count that as a win. Oh, that one's spinning like crazy. But the good news is I can grab a hold of that one, I think, with some grips of vise. These front one's got a little excess hole there. Put a little bit of PB on there. Let's see if we can't get a hold of it with something. Don't know what we can get down in there. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yeah, on the back side of those, they got a little square nuttage. I think that was supposed to be welded in there, or those go up in there. But okay, so we got this side out. Let me do the other side, and then figure out a way on how to get this apart. Go from there. Okay, here's the remnants of the body removal. Not too bad. A little bit of rust where we had to go to option number 2. But in order to pull this body off, I came up with a really awful idea. Yeah, it's since I don't have a 2-post lift, I am going to strap this to the bottom side of this 4-post lift. So yeah, don't do this. Yeah, don't do this at home. Wait a minute, I am at home. Okay, but I went ahead and made a couple of brackets that can just go in the upper fender mount holes. Using some pretty good sized straps. Use those to strap the car down when it's in the trailer, and then just in the back kind of looped it under the body and across. And so do not recommend this. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I do still have this on the dollies. So my thought is to actually try and lower the chassis first, see if it separates, and then we can do a little bit of liftage. So we'll see if this mess works. I don't know. Never tried that before, so we'll see. Wish me luck. Okay, well, here goes nothing. We'll see. Get this back up first. Just enough to get those dollies out. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, we have some separation. Okay, so far so good. Alright. I think she is separated. Yeah, appears to be. So, let's try and go uppage. That might do it. Or not. Okay, we have a body and we got a frame. All right, let's take a look at the damage. Okay, well, we've got everything just kind of hanging and dangling. A little bit of a dangle, but I think those straps are plenty strong, and I got it strapped in, so I'll get it up off the ground enough to get hopefully some attachment points for the rotisserie. And we got frameage, so everything seems to be in pretty decent shape. Yeah, so that will get us a starting point for the next adventure. Let's see if we can't get this out of the way and figure out how to get those body mounts that we cut off out and put this on a rotisserie. Big fun. Okay, while this thing is doing the death dangle here, here's the mounts that had to cut off. So my plan is to clean this surface up, drill a couple of little holes, I don't know, half a dozen or so around in the sheet metal there, and try and pull this, center it, pull it tight, and then weld that little square nut back to the body. So that's the plan. I have no idea if it's going to work, so we'll give it a shot. Okay, well, believe it or not, that actually worked. I just drilled 1/4-inch holes, 4 of them I think, around just real close to the edge of that. Kind of held that captive, that little square nut in place, and then kind of filled in the 1/4-inch holes. Then with copious amounts of heat, we got the bolts out, and then just kind of run a tap down up through there and ground her smooth. So we've got a couple of body mounts, so all repaired and ready to try and mount this thing up. So we'll go from there. Alright, well, first step on getting the beast onto a body rotisserie is kind of figuring out how the rotisserie goes together. So I got this fine piece of steel from Craigslist a few years ago for a few $100 from a guy who'd never used it, so he'd never put it together. And it's got all sorts of arms and doodads and whatnots and thingamajigs and so on, but I haven't ever put it together and used it, so we're just going to try and figure it all out. I'm assuming those are the end pieces, and the big greasy things go inside the end pieces, and probably the bars go in between. So let's see what we can come up with. Alright, well, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into with this. I'm assuming that probably got 2 of these that can go together to make it longer. That gets joined up by one of those. So we'll try slot tab A into slot B. Alright, we'll get a wrench. The old Kentucky socket set here. At least the bolts turn still. Not rusted in place. So we've got a start to it. Alright. Okay. I guess when it comes to used tools, you kind of get what you pay for. So I looked, there's a tag on one of those ends. I looked up the company that made this, and they don't exist anymore, so there's really no constructions anywhere. So, but yeah, figure it out as we go. Okay, so it's gotta slide into the end somehow. Well, that's going to need about 6 more hands. Stay. Sit. Ow. Okay, that's not right. Yeah. Maybe put those in first. Let's try. This thing is not light. Okay. I think it's long enough to do a school bus. All right, well, let me tinker with this mess, see what I can figure out and come up with, make it up as we go along as usual, and then see how we get car attached to it. So Don't really know. But let's check back in after that. Alright, well I got the frame kind of just sketched together here. I had to pull one end off after I had it together over there because it wouldn't go under the car. So I did it 3 times. So my best guess, stuff this crossbar in there, and I think these go, you know, little hanger ditties, I think. And then these little bars can slide up this and be, you know, pinned where you need it to try and balance stuff out. And then I can put a bolt up into those mount holes. That's what I think anyway. So, but I don't want to bolt this flat part up in there. I'm going to make a couple little spacers just to get it down and, you know, a little bit so I can get paint as close as I can up around all that fun stuff. And I think I'm going to have to mount this as low as possible to get it out from underneath this. And then, you know, try and find center of gravity and all that fun stuff. So that's what I think. So let me go get a couple of spacers cut, just some pipe or something, and try and get it, try and figure out an attachment scheme here. So that's where we got to go next. By the way, you know, went to the doctor the other day, and he diagnosed me as an acute case of paranoia. Well, he didn't really say that, but I could tell that's what he was thinking. All right, well, let's get some work done. Okay, so I cut these little 1.5-inch spacers just to get a little separation from these plates and the car. So I think that this has got to go up in here. Probably should have taken that off first. And for now I'm just going to kind of stick that through so it won't fall off, I guess. Used a couple of the old washers from the body mounts, so I think I can get be a 6-headed monkey. Talented. That's loose. Why is this not do it? There we go. Okay. I don't know. Well, we'll see. So if we go up through there. Something like that. Okay. Try that other side. Okay, not sure where the pivot point's going to be, but I think it's probably above this floor-ish, something like that. So at this point, we'll try and get these evened out, because we got a little angle-dangle thing going on with the car. So let me see if I can get this nice and centered in here. Probably get one of those sticks with some numbers on it. That might make a difference. And that's pretty close. Alright, now I'll get these last couple tightened up here. Okay, seems to be solidly attached to the beast. That should support it, I think. Well, let me go around front, do the same thing, and then we'll see what kind of disaster awaits us. Pick it up from there. Alright, so I got this thing set way too low, but I think I'm going to need the clearance for the clearance thing, so but I got, I think, most of the bolts tightened, I'm guessing. So let me see if I can actually lower this down and leave the tension on the straps. That was good. Okay, I think we are rotisserizing. got a solid footprint, I think. Yeah. Interesting part will come in a little bit when we try and figure out how to balance this thing. Get these straps out of here. Alright. I think those brackets work pretty good. I don't want to put too much pressure on like the door hinge area or anything, so fender mount's close enough. All right, now let's go up. Should get us out of here, I think. This whole contraption is not light. Okay, well, I think we're on the rotisserie. We've got to do some balancing act here, but let me get this kind of flopped around and lift back down. We'll check in at that point. Okay, so I'm ready for my first attempt to see how unbalanced this thing is. The last thing I want is for it to be real top heavy. But I got the ends cranked up a little bit. Let's see how awful this thing is. She's still bottom heavy. But it's pretty close. Bottom heavy is better than top heavy. So if I go down a little bit these, up a little bit with these. Get that center of gravity just a touch higher. I think we should be in really good shape. So let me figure out how to do that, I guess. So anyways, see what happens on the other end of that. So yeah, that's got to go up, maybe a half a notch or something. Okay, well, let me play with that a little bit and see what we can figure out. All right, well, here's my terrible plan. Got a couple of cement blocks. I'm gonna crank this down until it's resting on that. And then loosen these two beasts up. Let's see if I can get this whole end to drop down. I think I will go to a bolt hole if I can. Just because, let's see how that does. Tighten that mount up a little bit. Those snug back up. Okay, up a little bit. And try this again. I got to do the same thing in the back. That's getting pretty decent. Okay, let me adjust the back real quick and see if we can't get it rotisserizing on the rotisserie. So go from there. Okay, well, I think after tinkering around with it a little bit, I got it to a point where I can live with it. It's not perfect, but I can get it all the way over, and still a little bottom heavy, so a little bit safe. So I think we should be good to go. So we'll do one last nut and bolt check and call that a win. Go from there. Well, guys, I think since the Elco is now officially a rollover victim, we're gonna call that good for this edition of Let's Get Dirty Garage. So shoot me a comment and let me know what you think of this whole menagerie and what we've got in front of us. A bunch of stuff to come. Got a bunch of frame cleaning to do, and obviously this whole mess has got to be cleaned. So a bunch of stuff to do, but hey, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, tell somebody about the channel. We sure appreciate it. I mean, I love reading the comments, I love the interaction with you guys. But yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything, and thanks for getting dirty with me today. We'll see you next time. Take care.